This is Top Shop Podcast.
Shop Podcast.
Top Shop Podcast.
Podcast for automotive service business owners by Paul Donahue.
Hey, Top Shop podcast listeners, have another really experienced owner, 4 decades in the industry. That's a long time. Scott Johnson, S&R Auto and Tire in Esterville, Iowa. So you said you're right close to the Minnesota border?
Yeah, I'm about 5 miles south of the Minnesota border.
Oh, okay.
About 100 miles from.
So Scott, share your journey with us. Before I got started here, you had mentioned that you got started at 14. So tell us about your journey. You're a shop owner, been a shop owner for a long time now. How did you make that journey from working in a shop to owning it and getting where you're at now?
I'm second generation shop owner.
Oh, second.
Yeah, Dad started in the industry in 1966.
Wow.
At our old shop, Sheltron's, after he got back from the war. And then he bought it in 1971. And then I started working for him full time in the summers when I was 14.
Wow. Okay.
Did that all the way through high school. Went off to college. Half our shop at that time was a welding fab shop, machine shop, general machine. So I wanted to do that instead. Went to college for that. Come back, ended up. No, he didn't want to spend the money to go that direction. So I went the automotive direction and moved the shop that direction.
Wow.
I worked for him until, when was it, 20? I purchased it from him in 2007.
2007. Okay. All right. So yeah. So you've been an owner for almost 20 years, 19 years. Owner.
Yeah.
So, and that's great also because, to be able to buy the family business. So, all that work that your dad did to build that, that business up and that referral and those customers, to be able to just, be able to step right in and take that over. That's a real blessing. Try to start a shop from scratch, today.
Yeah.
It's
well, exactly. He didn't either. He actually bought a second generation shop in 66 that had started. Right. It originally started in 31. Our shop did.
Wow, 1931. So there's been a shop there. Same name, S&R?
No, actually that was Sheltron's, and then in 2017 I merged with the guy across the street. He needed to get out of his family business, and we merged it together and moved into his building, and we're at moved to his location. He had a lot bigger building than I had. So
right, okay.
So been there since 2017, and that's when we changed the name to S&R. We were actually partners up until about 4 years ago.
Okay, all right. Now you're the sole owner.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what were was there much of a transition? A lot of times, so you started out in the shop by sweeping the floors, and then you worked your way up, mechanic, etc. But knowing how to work on cars and knowing how to run a business are two different things.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, did you make a pretty smooth transition because your dad had already showed you how to run the shop and how everything, worked, and or did you have a, little bump in the road there? Or?
He actually wasn't running the shop real well when I took it over. Okay. We were struggling horribly. It was the two of us. We had hired another guy before I bought it.
Right.
So then it went back down to the two of us because he ended up passing away. But we, in 2013, I joined a shop coaching group, and that's when I really started to learning how to run the business. Was from a 20 group.
And which coaching group?
At that time, it was a turnaround tour with Gary Gunn.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah.
He retired here in 2016. I think he's still around the industry, but he sold out turnaround tour back in 2016.
Okay. So do you have a coach now?
Actually, I don't right now. I went back and joined up in 2020, and I was doing shop fix, and then I was also doing UNET results with Brian Gillis. And was doing both of those for a while. And then about a year and a half ago, I stepped out of both groups.
Okay. Yeah. We recommend the Institute for Excellence.
Okay.
Cecil Bullard. I mean,
okay. Yeah. I've seen him at Vision quite a few times, Cecil. So
Yeah, they're really growing, and for a reason. He's been growing slow to make sure he's the customer's number one, then they're being taken care of. They could grow a lot faster, but they're just really making sure that they grow properly. So,
Yeah.
and he's put out a ton of information out on the web already, like we have. We put out a massive amount of information for auto repair shop owners that they can, apply to their websites and digital presence. And some of it they can't. You need an expert for it, which is why you hire a coach. But
Exactly.
but that is good for you to hear because I hear it consistently. So one of the biggest things that changes a shop owner's life and business is getting a coach. Because I talked to a guy uh, a couple of weeks ago, over 20 years running a shop. He goes, I knew everything. I know how to run a shop, right? And then he got a coach, doubled his revenues the next year. He
Yeah, I can
he,
believe it.
he said, I didn't know what I didn't know. So,
Right.
so any listeners out there, any podcast listeners, please, the two things that I see consistently with every shop that wants to grow, and increase their performance in their numbers. They have a coaching company and they have a digital marketing agency that's really, bringing them the return on investment because that first time customer is the most important. If that first time customer goes to a competitor because they found that person on the web somewhere before you, or they trusted that subconsciously that other website was sending the trust signals that people are looking for subconsciously, then that person becomes that shop's lifetime customer. Because a lot of times these people will go to the same shop, for forever. So it's just crazy important.
Mhm.
So and speaking of that, like so all shops have a culture. So how many techs do you have right now?
I have five, and
Employees altogether. You got five techs. Okay.
I got 7 employees total,
Hmm.
not
Okay.
counting me.
Right. And then you've got culture. So, but most
Yeah.
auto repair shops, they have less than 10 employees. So it's much easier for a smaller business to, maintain that to maintain a culture. Because sometimes you can work really hard to get a culture, and then you look away for a little while, then the culture or just have the wrong employee and not know it for a while.
Yeah.
But any tips on developing a really good shop culture where your employees, your techs, really just want to stay with you, and then that culture spreads out in the community. From what I've heard, a lot of other shop owners, so they don't have a hard time finding techs when they need one. They just show up and say, "Hey, are you hiring? I've heard good things about your shop." So that's the kind of culture that we want to spread, not just within the shop, but the successful shop owners that I've listened to and had on podcasts. They found that culture that they focused on within their shop goes out in the community.
Yeah. You want to be the shop that everybody wants to work at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So any tips on that? So
Oh,
you're right.
it's tough. Just I guess the big thing is take care of your people and make sure that, yeah, if you do have one that is causing problems and an issue, you got to get them out. It's just, yeah, otherwise you end up with a disaster. You'll end up losing your good employees because they'll chase them away eventually, and then you have nothing. So,
Right.
uh, I guess I don't know. Been I've been very fortunate, I guess, that I found some good techs at a younger years. I mean, I've got one that's got over 50 years. Um, he's been in the original company, the other half of the company for he started with them. He's been there for over 50 years. I've got two others that have been there for what are they going on 18 or 19 years now.
Wow.
I most of mine are I only my young quick I've only got a couple young guys. They're in their 20s that have they've fit in well. That's been the big thing is we've had some others that didn't fit in well and they had to move on and go somewhere else. So
Right.
you could fit in the ones that wanted to be there.
What about finances? No shop is going to make it long term without proper finances. Any tips for how you handle the finances at your shop that would help a younger shop owner?
You got to keep an eye on your GP, keep an eye on there's just so many, there's a lot of KPIs just to keep an eye on all the time. Keep track of your ARO, keep track of your and the percentages are great. It's nice to look at your percentages on everything. It kind of gives you a quick look, but you got to make sure your dollars are there because even if your GP falls and you got your dollars, you got a chance. Um, but that was the big thing with the coaching group that taught me how to figure it up correctly. So I knew where I was at.
Hmm.
I guess I'd recommend most anybody to, if you've never been to join a shop group of some sort. Uh, they can teach you so much that you don't know about or don't even think about, I guess I should say.
Right.
Uh, and you got to watch your overhead. All the tools are so awesome these days, but they're so expensive that you really got to plan for them. Otherwise, you end up eating up all your profits, and you got to have money in the bank, or cash is king. If not, you're gonna die,
Right.
sadly.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, especially with the new shops, don't buy those tools right away. If you do without them. You need to have money in the bank.
Yeah,
That's a big one that I hear all the time. Do you set a certain percentage aside, that or any other tips that you've got? Do you have a separate bookkeeper, that takes care of that stuff for you, or
yeah, I do have a bookkeeper that she works off site.
like, okay.
That I've been fortunate. It's my sister that's
Oh,
she
perfect.
gets
It's a family member.
she yeah her husband farms, and after she had her kids she quit working. She was as a master's in business, so she does my books for me and does a lot of that stuff, and keeps track of everything. I have not been good at putting away like I should for savings because retirement's coming up in a hurry on me, but
Right.
getting older and older. But you know I need to plan. I'm not planning as well as I should, but everybody should definitely watch their money, make sure where it's going, because otherwise it disappears so quick when you're not looking.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
a lot of shop owners focus on, getting out of the rent trap and owning their location. That's because a lot of them, that's their retirement. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and there's good and bad with owning your building,
sure,
especially at the beginning.
yeah,
You know, it's hard
right,
to grow because you ties up all your cash owning a building. I
yeah,
did learn that a long time ago. Most of us went from technician to owner
right,
and skipped the part of being a businessman in there and learning that you can't, it's hard to start a business with, I got a box of tools and I know how to fix cars. Well, yeah, the bills are going to come. And next thing you know, your first month, you're $20,000 upside down because, the bills came in and you only made this much money. So make sure you're well funded when you start your business so you can survive. I guess is probably the biggest thing I see is so many start out and underfunded and then struggle and are robbing from home to take care of the business, trying to get it off the ground. So try to make sure you're well funded.
Mm. All right, sounds like good advice. So, um, what about the where we're going, where auto repair is going? EVs, popped onto the scene here. We've got hybrids. I know it's just conjecture and just guess, but I mean, do you have any idea where you think it's going to be going in the next like 5 or 10 years?
They've been pushing the EVs so hard, and that's the direction they would like to go, but I don't see it sticking. The population isn't wanting that. I think the hybrid's a good option. I've been, you know, seeing a lot of good with that. Where I'm at, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm in farmland area. So there's
Pretty
not
good.
a lot of EVs here or hybrids, either one.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not against them. I own a couple of hybrids myself. A couple of Chevy Volts that been really happy with them. Um, I don't know. They keep pushing that full electric, and I just don't see where it's gonna happen for quite a while yet. We just don't have the infrastructure for it. The very cold areas don't love it. I wonder what the hot areas. They say it's fine, but batteries generally do not love the super heat either. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. I am hoping for hydrogen because we all have internal combustion engines.
Yeah,
EVs are an environmental disaster. It wasn't the Green Deal like in grass and trees. It was the Green Deal.
yeah,
It's not so green. since the mining of the minerals and then disposal of the batteries and everything else that goes along with it. So I think hybrid. A lot of other people think the same as you, hybrid. Since you are in a rural area, you will not see Teslas. I just went to the winter retreat at Northwest Auto Care Alliance in Leavenworth, Virginia, or Washington, sorry, Leavenworth, Washington. And on the way, back to SeaTac, the airport, I saw more Teslas than I've ever seen in my life. I mean, but they're a city car, if you're going to have them,
Right.
and and 24 months later, they're worth half of what you paid for them. So I'm not sure why people are super excited about them.
Yeah. They're not a good investment whatsoever.
No, they're not. Is there any trends or developments or changes that are occurring with shop auto repair that you think some shop owners really aren't paying attention to and should? Or
I guess the biggest thing I'm seeing right now is just our costs are getting more and more on us. Definitely watch your labor rates, watch your parts margins. Um, it's eating us all up with the inflation's been a lot, and a lot of us tend to try to keep everything down and think we're doing a good thing, and then you look back and go, "Oh gosh, I should have went up $10 a year ago, and now I've got to go up 25." And that way you can take care of your people. I guess that's probably the biggest thing I've been seeing. It's eating them up. Your technicians are getting the cost of living's killing them too. So you're the one that wants to keep them here because we want to keep the industry growing.
Yeah, I think that, and a lot of other shop owners think the hybrid thing is going to be, so, and I'm from back in the day too. I'm a little older, so my first car was 71 Cougar, Ford Cougar
Oh,
with a 351 Cleveland in it, and I put a 780 Holly carb on it, So, but and then that was back, in the day. You remember the 70s and stuff.
oh yeah.
Yeah, the fuel shortage and all that, Nixon, and then oh, we're going to run out of oil was the big thing. Like the year 2000, the world's going to this whatever. Remember that 2000 thing, dude? Jeez, and
Mm-hmm.
crazy stuff we went through, right? So, but then someone injected created a fuel injector,
Oh yeah.
tripled oil reserves or quadrupled oil reserves because the wasn't just dumping fuel into a car. Now we have hybrid. So the same thing I think has happened again. So now cars are getting, once again, we're getting much, much, much better fuel mileage out of the gallon of gas that we've got. And I'm thinking that maybe that's where we're going to stay for a little while. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think the industry is going anywhere, right? There's too many cars on the road. You look at the average age, and they're, we live for the transportation, and all of us do. So, and they talk about the dealerships taking over and pushing us out. They're way behind us right now as far as amount of people. They just don't have the footprint to take care of the cars, and let alone the older cars that are out of warranty that we'll be around a long, long time.
Hmm. Yeah. So there has been, and I have talked about this on the podcast with other guests, but there is a palpable shift from the consumer's perception that the dealer is the place to go. I can trust the dealer. So it used to be back in the 90s because I think they did some 60-minute thing where they had a car that had problems and they took it. Remember that? And so
Yeah.
and of course they show any honest repair shops? No, they only showed the dishonest ones. And so so there was this perception that, oh, go to the dealer because I can trust them. Don't trust these independent, mechanic guys. That's changed. And do you know why it's changed?
No, I don't.
Reviews.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that is a good thing.
Google
Yeah.
reviews has really changed everything. So now people can look and see, and now there's more distrust towards from the consumer. Research shows that there's more distrust with the dealerships, aka stealerships. A lot of them is what the people call them. They
Yeah.
the independent shop where they can go and talk to you and say hi and meet their mechanic that's working on their car if they choose to, have a relationship with the CSR that's at the front desk that, that helps them get the car in and out. So that's been a really positive shift. And I hope it continues to, I'm not wishing ill on anybody, dealerships,
No.
but it has been moving. So, and then a lot of dealerships, I'm sure they're feeling the tech shortage too. So they're just grabbing any warm body they can so they can keep those. And that's what's causing the problem, is they're not
Yeah.
focusing on the quality that an independent auto repair shop will, because if they don't provide that quality, they get bad reviews, they lose customers. So,
Yeah. There's no warranty stuff to cover it up with to keep your techs busy with. So
right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of warranties, how effective have warranties been with you, with your repair business?
As far as which type of warranty.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you offer return warranties for your?
Yeah, we've been doing the 2 year 24,000 for a long time,
Okay.
and on certain things, a lot of times we'll, if you're just past it, we'll take care of it
Sure.
generally still.
Sure.
So it's
What about DVIs? This has been one of the biggest increases in profits for a lot of shops, besides their digital, getting those first-time customers in. Are you doing DVIs at all, or have you thought about it, or?
we're not at this time. I pushed for it quite a few years ago and had a struggle getting all the techs on board. A lot of them aren't very they were
Oh,
not good at it, and I didn't have a good software for it. We're moving towards different point of sale software so we can move back to the DVI again, but we have not been doing them. We've
okay.
been still doing the paper at this time.
Oh, yeah.
But
Okay.
I see a lot of good with the DVI. That's why I need to push the guys back towards it again, and with a different point of sale that is more user friendly towards it.
Right. Yeah. The customers really, really like it because instead of trying to explain it, they can just see it. And they're like,
Yes.
yeah, that looks like it needs fixed, fix it, So,
Yeah.
instead of trying to explain it. So,
Being in a small town, we don't have a lot of waiters. So it's
sure.
not like they're at the shop. We can go show them what's going on. It'd be nice if they were at work that they could, yeah, look at their text. And so it has just been a struggle between the front and back because we were trying to mix too many things together, and we need to get down to one. And still a struggle trying to get everybody to want to get on the same page. But we're getting close now to moving probably to a different point of sale and one that's going to be DVI friendly.
Okay, cool, cool. Is there's a lot of challenges to running a shop. What do you think the biggest ones are? What do you think the biggest challenges are that you would warn a younger shop owner that's just getting started?
Uh, Probably the biggest struggles is just finding, you find your good help, and then um probably the other is probably just the financials of, you know, there's just so many moving parts to it anymore, and we usually wear that hat of all of them, unlike a big industry, trying to do your marketing, trying to do your, watch your numbers, trying to take care of customers, and run the shop. There's I guess probably my biggest fight is getting enough production out all the time. Just trying to fix the little things and keep everybody on the same page, and that way to keep it flowing, to take care of the customer. They all take care of the customer well, but we could take care of them faster and make more money, that way.
Do you have a family?
Yes. Yeah.
So when you took over the shop from your dad a long time ago, how old were your kids then?
Um, I had my daughter. It's the only one I had at that time.
Okay.
She's 26 now.
Okay.
My other two kids came after that, one in 2008. We adopted one in 2008 and had another one in 2010.
You adopted a child?
Yeah, we adopted one in the middle. We didn't assume after 9 years we were going to have any more kids. So the opportunity came. We weren't planning on it. It came up and we adopted a boy, and when he was a week old. Um, and yeah, about 2 years later, I guess he decided he needed a brother, because then we ended up having another kid.
It's strange how things turn out because I was adopted. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so thank you. Yeah, there's lots of children out there that need good homes, good Christian homes, And to reach out and take a child into your home says a lot about
Yeah.
says a lot a
No,
lot.
it's been a great experience. It's fun learning all the legalities along the way of that too. But yeah, it's
Mhm.
been great. He's a great kid. So yeah,
The reason I ask is a lot of shop owners struggle with that um, work home.
work-life balance. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
It is a struggle.
Yeah. Any tips?
It's tough. You spend as much time as you can with your kids. Don't, one way or the other, I guess. I've been pretty fortunate. I haven't been open on Saturdays for a long, long time. So I try to be a part of the kids as much as I can. I've been divorced for 6 years now, so I have the kids every other week, the two
Okay.
boys. So I try to, try to be a part of they're in high school now, so it's more of when they have hockey, it's like, all right, I get to spend time with them. Otherwise, I hardly get to see them. So it's
Right.
tough.
Is it? Yeah.
So, but try to spend as much time as you can with them, be a part of their life because otherwise it'll be gone and they'll disappear.
Hmm.
So
So, we are in a massive tech shortage. So, do you have any tips on how to find, hire, and retain good technicians?
I do not have much
Give
for
us the magic formula. We all need it.
I
Yeah.
can tell you where I am. Indeed is worthless because there isn't anybody there.
No.
We're out in the middle of nowhere. Everybody's like, "Oh, there's hundreds of them on there." I'm like, "No, there's like seven, and two of them already worked for me, and the other are not qualified to work in the industry." Um, Word of mouth, I guess. Make sure you talk to your techs, and generally they know others. Even the last one that I hired, he still talks to his former uh, technicians.
Mhm.
So they're probably one of your best advocates because they do talk to other techs out there that work elsewhere.
Right.
Um, Otherwise, God, it's tough trying to figure it out. I don't think they're all gone. I think they're out there. That's the thing. We just have to probably grow more and more of them. One of my young one is we've been growing. Um,
So,
he,
one of your
new
boys are interested. Yeah.
well, no, one of our
Showing an
younger
interest.
younger techs that
Oh,
I
one of your
have.
younger techs. Okay.
Yeah, he's 27 now.
Uh-huh.
He's been there for 3 years now. He came to us, he knows a little bit, but he needed to learn a lot and
Right.
work with him. He had never been to college and just trying to grow him from there is a lot of it. Try
Yeah.
to get a young one that's interested and move it up. Hopefully one of my boys might be interested, the youngest one. He keeps talking about it at least, but I don't know if any of my kids will end up in this industry or not. I grew up
Showing an interest.
a little bit. It's tough. Yeah, they don't like it like I guess I did. I wanted to always be at the shop all the time. I mean, I spent half of my time there because that was when I did get to see my dad because I was at work all the time. He
Right.
was one of those that worked every day of the week. And so, yeah, it was if I went down there, I got to see him and spend time with him. So I was down there sweeping floors and doing that stuff. And a lot of that was just so I could spend time with him.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping that maybe they'll decide at some point that maybe they want that but I'm fine with it. Daughter's a banker and that's the direction she wanted to go, so
Sure. Sure. Yeah. So yeah, are you involved in any high school programs or anything like that? So,
no, we don't have any of them around here.
oh, you don't have
um
any around.
no, we really don't.
Okay. You're in the
The high
boonies.
schools don't do much of anything. We did have a couple colleges around here, probably 30-40 minutes away.
Right.
They don't do a lot anymore. There's very little. I have done some stuff with them in the past,
Right. Okay.
trying to get somebody. But I haven't been here lately. I've been kind of almost overstaffed at the time
Right.
right now. So trying to get an internship or something like that with somebody is tough trying to figure out a place to put them. So
I see.
I need to work on that. Though I think that's a big thing there too, is an internship. If you can get somebody from a college, that would be if you're really needing somebody and have the time to train, that's the tough part. If you don't have the time to train, it's tough. But if you do have enough guys in the shop and are willing to help train, get an intern from the college and try to grow them that way too.
Right,
is a
or
good
the
way
high
to get
school.
some.
Yeah, that's the advice I've been hearing from quite a few owners. Because there's you got HVAC, you've got plumbing, you've got electrical, and all of these industries, same as us. They have tech shortages because all the kids were sold by the high school counselors to go to college to memorize a bunch of things that they're probably never going to use because a lot of people don't know this, but 80% of all college graduates are in a field totally and completely different than what they got their degree in within 60 months.
Yeah,
So
I
within 5 years.
believe that.
Yeah, yeah. So and then now you've got master AIC techs knocking down 120 a year, no problem, because there's such a demand for them, and it's the same thing with the other trades. So a lot of the shop owners try to stay connected with their local high school because that's where they'll find that. A lot of them are telling them that's where they'll find that intern, the one that has that, hey, can I come to your shop? And the one that really shows the interest, So
Yep.
yeah, so and I think that's the way of future proofing a shop because, like you said, you've got a guy that's been 50 years. Well, who's going to replace him when that guy's gone? If you haven't worked years in training somebody up you know, to get there,
Yeah.
you're right? Yeah. So,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
um,
And they got to be willing to want to put forth the effort to continue training.
yeah,
My 70-year-old tech loves to learn. He still likes to go to the training, anything he can get. And I got a couple young ones that are the same way. The one's already talking about wanting to go to Vision again this year. He hasn't been there for a couple years with his other shop. He had went, and I haven't been there for a few years, and so we're looking at going to Vision again and get some more training just to keep up on everything. He does a lot online too of watching, and it's tough. I get it. You try to find that work balance and you want to be at home, but training ties you up too at the same time, trying to learn more,
right.
keep moving.
So, speaking of training, what role do you believe training and ongoing education play in the success of an auto repair shop today?
I think it is a big deal. I think from the owner all the way down to the technician, they all need continuing training just to keep you on task and keep you focused. Because otherwise it turns into a job after a while. And, like anything in a job, most jobs you don't fall behind because you're doing the same thing in factory or whatever, where here you start to fall behind and it's hard to get caught back up on everything. The cars are changing and um, so much here that, yeah, uh, I don't have a set fast rule on how much hours of training everybody should do. I've talked about it. I was hoping they would just be more focused on wanting to put, 10, 20 hours a year in, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's better than anything. You could do
Sure.
a class once a month just to stay fresh and focused.
Right. Yeah. So, if uh, an auto repair shop owner is just starting out this year or in their first couple of years or whatever, and they came to you and said, Scott, I need some advice. Well, what's the most important advice you can give me to getting started on the right road with my shop? What would you tell that person?
Um, Talk to a business coach, um, talk to a 20 group of some sort. And if you can't, get on podcasts, different stuff. And the biggest thing is there's so much different information out there. Go to somewhere. That's where I ever found my first coach was I had went to Vision and heard several different coaches along the way. I wasn't ready for a coach at that time, but I wouldn't, I needed one long before that. I just didn't know it. So don't waste too much time, but start interviewing, coaches and seeing who fits and gels with you to go on your path that you're wanting. Cause there's just so much, we wear too many hats and there's so much that you need to know that you could be doing everything right in the shop and totally failing on the other side if you don't know. So
Right.
I know I did. I know my, figuring hourly rates, looking at the competition and trying to figure that out back in the day instead of going, I got to charge this much or I'm going to go broke. And till you go and look back later and figure it out and go, well, gee, I was working for nothing. Thought I was making money, but I
Right.
wasn't.
Let me tell you something, Scott, and to all the listeners. Probably the most important advice, and I've done a lot of podcasts with very experienced shop owners. So Top Shop Podcast is for shop owners that have been in business over 10 years, because only 4% make it that far. So that's why I want the kind of experience that the shop owner that's made it those 10 years has. And when I ask that question, what is the biggest advice you would ever you give to somebody? Every shop owner that has hired a coaching company, it's the first thing that they say. The ones that haven't don't suggest that.
Yeah.
But every single person that is a shop owner that has got a coaching company, and personally, we recommend we are the Institute for Excellence. That's Cecil and Kent Bullard, 25 years in the industry, and because of the referrals, the people that I've talked to that have used them, the references that they've given me are all phenomenal. And plus that agency has really put massive amounts of free information out there on the web. So as we have, autorepairseo.com, massive amounts of free information on our website under the resources tab. So to go there. So Scott, I really want to thank you for your time today. You run a busy shop, and I appreciate you taking time out of your morning to meet with us. And I'll look forward to seeing you at Vision. I'll be on the trade show floor. Please stop by, say hello. If you don't have a copy of my book, I'll be sure to give you one. Okay?
All right. No, that sounds great.
All right. Awesome.
For additional automotive resources and exclusive content, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our episodes. Thanks again for joining us in the driver's seat, and we'll see you next time for another thrilling episode of Top Shop.